Hey guys, welcome back to Grit and Grace Farm. My name's Angel. Matt has built a chicken brooder because we're getting chicks this week. So, our original plan to use this plastic tote right there did not work out because we ordered quite a few chicks, and so I ordered the big brooding warming pad thing, and it was too big to fit in here and have the chicks fit in here too. So we had to go with plan B, which was, it worked out really awesome, but it's kind of sad. We're gonna have to figure out how to use this because Matt built a little screen into the lid. Maybe we can use this for transporting them outside and everything. So what we came up with instead was this. So we have a lot of puppy gates that are adjustable in size because of these two. And so we took cardboard boxes that we already had and created a little basin in it because we have a large gap here, and then these little holes are big enough for the babe chicks when they first get here to squeeze right through. And so we needed to have them confined properly. So Matt went through and broke down a couple boxes and taped them in such a way that they would block all that off. And then by the time that the chicks can like hop up and are trying to like flutter around and stuff, they will be too big to squeeze through these holes. And then to protect the cardboard from getting nasty, we took the 6mm plastic that was used out in the garden beds, and Matt just finished taping it in such a way to where it created a little box, and then he tucked it around the edges. Now obviously he is working on getting the brooder set up. We will be using paper towels down here in the bottom as bedding. Bless you. As bedding at first until they have established all the food's ready all at once. The bread's done and it's beeping at us, and the potatoes are done. So we're going to put paper towels down so they don't get confused and try to eat the pine shavings that we will be using later. We want them to be well established with what is their food and what is not their food before we do that. It may not be necessary, but I just figured it was a good idea for now. And then we'll be changing the paper towels. We'll be layering them. I haven't decided if I'm going to remove them completely and put in new ones twice a day, or if I'm just going to do like a deep bedding kind of layering system and then like every other day change it out. I don't know exactly. I'm still kind of playing that part by ear. But Matt and I were both very astonished when he stuck the plastic down in there, and it just seemed to fit perfectly. So another great thing about this is because these are expandable and we have several more of these little gate pieces, when the chicks outgrow this space, we will be able to extend it to fit along this whole area. And so we will be able to accommodate them until they are fully ready to go outside in the chicken tractor that Matt is building. So this is now ready to go. Something else that we're doing with having them in here is we thought about putting them out in the utility room. We thought about putting them out in the shed. Either place is a good option and might end up being utilized. We'll see. But the idea with having them in here is getting the dogs used to them, and really desensitizing them to the sight, the smell, the sound of these chicks, so that they will not, so hopefully they will view them as part of the family and be more likely to protect them, or at the very least to just leave them alone. Our dogs are not livestock guardian dogs. They are golden doodles. They are actually, so they're part retriever. And so I don't know how they will handle being around these animals. I know lots of people who have golden doodles, and they are all like, yeah, you just get them used to it. They're not necessarily going to be like really good livestock guardian dogs, but they will eventually normalize if you work with them, and they'll have a good relationship with them. At least just leave them alone. So that's our goal in having them in the house. We're probably going to need to, for the first little while, put an extra barrier of some kind around here so that they're not right up on the gates and scaring the chickens, because baby chicks are so fragile. I don't want to scare them. So we'll see how that works out. We will be getting the chicks in a couple of days. So for right now, this is all I'm recording on this part. So the next thing you'll see is us getting our little baby chicks. See you then. Today's the day. So we got the call right before breakfast that our chicks are here. So we just finished up breakfast. I'm waiting on my tea to get done steeping so I can run out and pick them up. And then we will be bringing our meat chickens, our first ever round of meat chickens, home. So here we go. Y'all, I'm so excited. They're so sweet. Like, I haven't even seen them yet. I just can hear them. They're so cute. Okay, I just got them from the post office. Now I'm headed back home, and I'm so excited. You're probably not going to be able to tell the difference between them enough to name them.
But whenever we can tell the difference between them, I want to name some of them after the Kikis.
Well, we'll name them all Bob. Or all Nemo.
This half is Nemo, or no, this half is Marlin Jr., this other half will be...
Nemo? Oh, yeah. All right, are we ready? Little baby chicks. Yep, there's a mystery one that they've included for us. They do that with all their orders. So tiny. They're all squished together.
I think the yellow
Yeah.
one should probably have.
Hi. I don't want to squish you.
Oh, it's scary.
Yeah. That's over there, little Mickey. You'll be with your friends. There you go. Oh, they're so
What do we name the yellow one since it's...
We're not getting into that for now.
Later.
Did you dunk his nose?
Yeah.
Poor little baby chicks. It's scary.
They're trying to keep warm. Hi, babies.
Oh, they're so adorable. Can I lift one?
No.
Not yet. Remember, we got to get them used. Oh!
He tried to climb up the wall.
It's the claw.
The claw.
They're so sweet. So we have all of them all set up and good except for one. The little one that when we got him out, he was kind of hobbling around and flopping over. We're trying to get him warmed up and he seems to be perking up. So Matt's been holding him and just warming him up. We're making a small setup. He was getting pushed out of the brooder by all the other chicks because he's weak. And so I think he just needs to warm up. We've gotten him to drink a little bit. He hasn't really eaten much, but he's now pecking at Matt's hand, so maybe he's warmed up enough to eat. So we're going to try. I've got a heating pad that is just an old regular heating pad. I'm warming it up now, and we're going to put him in there and see if he can get nestled and properly warm, and then get some food and water in there for him off by himself. He's perked up. Took him a little while.
Much smell affects them.
I don't know. Hey guys, so it is the next day. We've now deemed the Needle Chickie that is struggling as Lucky. That was Matt's little name that he threw on him. So Lucky is doing a little better today. I think during transport, one of his legs got injured because he doesn't like to stand on it. Matt and I were looking at him and one other that now is having some similar issues. He's so Lucky seems to be struggling to kind of walk around. Like, he doesn't like walking around. He's still kind of weak. We've been able to use a syringe to get him to drink, and I mixed up some of his food into the water to kind of get some of those nutrients, even though he's not really consuming the food, to get something into his system. The heating pad is working really well. He's getting warmed up, but he's just not getting up and moving around. And Matt and I were looking at online different things, and he still has his egg tooth. So if you don't know, chickens, to break themselves out of the shell when they're ready to hatch, they have on their beak just a little bitty nub that we call an egg tooth. That is, they use it to peck, to get out, to break the shell. So that is supposed to fall off after a few days. He still has his. The other chicks all have lost those. And so we're wondering if he just wasn't really freshly hatched when they shipped him, and maybe getting jostled around might have injured his leg. On top of that, he's just really little, really small, really fresh. And then we have a second one that he was kind of hobbling around, and he doesn't seem to have any leg problems. He's just really weak. And I think it's because he is small. He also still has his egg tooth. I'm not seeing any other ones. I might have missed some, but of the 27 that we have, these two have egg teeth on their beak still. And so it might just be that they're both really young. And so the others are, pecking order. They're pushing him out, because the second one, I was watching him, and then I lifted up the brooder just to check on him because I hadn't seen him hobble out in a while, and I wanted to make sure he wasn't getting hurt. Well, he was. He was laying on his side. The others were stepping on him, and he was cold. And so we pulled him out, put him in with Lucky. We've now deemed him Chance. So Lucky and Chance are both in a separate brooder with the heating pad nestled up together. We rolled the heating pad up and tucked them up in there together. They're getting warm. I saw Chance hop out and in search of water, and so I think he just needed to warm up. We had put Lucky back into the big brooder last night, because he had warmed up, and we thought maybe he would be okay. And this morning, Matt found him outside, kind of on the outskirts of the brooder, just under it, but not like warm. So we brought him back out. So both of them are in a separate place, getting warmed up. Hopefully they make it. We've been praying over them and just trying to make sure that they're warm, that they've got food and water, and just doing the best we can for them. We know that we've heard the phrase, with livestock comes dead stock. And so preparing our hearts, and we prepared ahead of time, We even were prepared that we might receive some that had died in transit, because we know that that can happen, which is why the hatchery tends to send an extra 1 or 2, because we actually only ordered 25, and then they include a free surprise chick, and then they included 1 extra just in case any had died during transit. So that's how we have 27. Hopefully they recover. I am concerned about Lucky's leg. You know, if he can't put weight on it and move around, then there's not a whole lot that I know of that can be done, because he won't make it, because we're trying to feed him and he's still not really getting a whole lot, because there's only so much you can do to force feed a baby chick. So we're being gentle, we're being loving, we're trying to let him rest and let them both rest, let them both be warm, and encourage them to get food and water. But it's just a praying and waiting game. It's kind of sad, but we're trusting the Lord to take good care of them, and giving them both all the love that we can while they're here with us, regardless of how long that is. I will say that we're not going to be keeping all of the chicks that we got. Obviously, we're going to keep these 2 to make sure there's nothing wrong with them. But we do have a friend who is interested in some meat chickens. And so of the healthy chicks, we're going to be giving some to them. So we're probably going to end up, if these 2 get healthy and survive, our plan was to keep 17 of them. So we were going to give 10 to our friends. So however many survive, you know, that's how many we'll have. So anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I was hoping to be able to wrap it up with like a good conclusion, but it's just a waiting game. So praying that they both do just fine. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks for joining us here at Grit and Grace Farm. We'll see you next time.